welcome to you all. I thought that I'd put a face behind the hands and actually do like a collective reading for everybody, because it's important for me to show like a presence rather than you just seeing my nails and my hands. So what I thought I'd do today is do a collective reading for everybody to see how we get on with that. If you don't mind commenting, liking and sharing, I will be very grateful. Let's go into it without further ado. So your present situation. Let's see what's happening in your present situation. What's happening for my collective? No, let's put that away. What's happening for my collective in the present moment? We'll just get one more card, you guys. So at the bottom of the deck, we've got divinity, okay? So you're probably moving your frequency up. Wow. I'd just like to put these in the right order just in case you're wondering what the hell is she doing. So what we've got first of all is abuse. We've got karma, false narrative, single, sexy and successful. So let's go over the abuse first, because these stories might be different for each one of you. So what I want you to do is think about what connotates to you out of these four cards. If none of them relate with you, then this isn't the collective reading for you. If any of them do relate with you, then stick around because you're meant to be seeing this. If you can think of anybody that actually needs to listen to this message, then send that on to them. But I will be posting these regularly to help you guys collectively to be able to move into your future in your life without feeling like you're being held back by something that you can't quite put your finger on. So let's go over abuse. Queen of Wands. So this is fire sign energy. So there could be somebody around you, or you yourself is feeling like you're trying to get yourself into an emotional it's more like an emotionally stable place with the Six of Swords, and with the Queen of Wands it's like trying to help yourself to get your confidence back. You may be finding that you used to dress in a certain particular way, you don't dress that way anymore. You used to present yourself towards people in a certain way, you don't anymore. And then we've got the Knight of Wands with the star underneath it, okay? Aquarius energy. We've got Leo, Sagittarius and Aries energy, and then we've got the air signs energy here as well. So look, I don't know if you noticed this, but just directly behind it we've got this card, which is the Six of Wands, which is speaking about victory. So there's something to do with your confidence. You used to have a hell of a lot of confidence, a lot of passions in your life. You used to have a lot of desires in your life, and then you met somebody. Now when you met this person, it might have felt like they were really good for you at first. They were bringing in a lot of positivity into your life, helping you with your confidence, helping you to see yourself for who you truly are. And then somewhere down the line, it started to turn abusive. The thing is, that can be emotional abuse, physical abuse, financial abuse. It can be lots of different abuses. You should look them up so then you're understanding what abuse actually looks like, because it doesn't necessarily mean just physically hitting somebody. This can be literally demeaning you and demeaning your confidence, okay? So with the Knight of Wands, it's somebody who is quite a lot immature. Is a hell of a lot more immature than you are, especially with the Queen of Wands. It's like the Knight of Wands is a person that is very impulsive, a person that sleeps around, a player type of energy. So that's the current situation for the person that's going through some sort of abuse. What about the person with karma? What about karma? Because this can all loop into one story as well. Yeah, dropping a burden. So there's definitely something to do with someone going through some sort of a relationship or some sort of family situation or a work situation where it's very burdensome, and the karma wasn't on your side. I would say this is the reason why you met this person. But if you read like The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, you will understand that when it comes down to relationships, they're not always meant to be all happiness, stars and giggles and glitter. It's meant to be where you are conscious enough to be able to recognize some of the faculties within yourself, to be able to heal those faculties, so then you can be more refined. So if we look at each person that we're with in regards to romantic connections, work connections, or friends, if we look at those types of relationships as more of a work in progress, then we will understand that everything isn't meant to be perfection. But karmically, there's something to do with you holding on to a hell of a lot of burdens and needing to drop those burdens. I think that you probably already have, especially with the 10 of Wands reversed. Look, that's actually beautiful, because you've got the Ace of Wands, which is basically speaking about a new karmic balance coming into your life. But it's something in the tangible, it's something you can touch, taste and feel. So you're actively pursuing a new beginning in your life after coming away from quite abusive circumstances, and also people that have been spreading some sort of false narrative about you. If you're not going through an abusive situation and you're just literally letting go of things and people that don't serve you anymore, the universe is happy with you for doing this, because it will help you with a new beginning in your life. That new beginning, though, may actually come into play, into action by June, July, August, I just heard there. So let's go over false narrative. False narrative, yeah. 5 of Swords. This is a very, very manipulative person. Has to win an argument at all costs. Not only that, spreading a narrative about you or somebody that you love around you, and that narrative that they're spreading is to give effect to other people of them needing to feel shocked. They could be talking about your spirituality. They could be talking about how you have awakened since you have come into being spiritual. Whatever the gossip is, people are shocked by what they hear. What I would definitely say is, if somebody's coming around you and gossiping, really make sure whether you should be listening to this type of gossip from that type of person if you know a person differently to how they do. Because sometimes people can do things because they have a secret agenda, and that's what this feels like here, right? So somebody's spilling some sort of gossip about you and money, your financial affairs. What about... Yeah, so we've got the 8 of Swords here. You may not even be privy to it, to be honest. You might even not know that these people are gossiping about you in this particular way. But the best thing for you to understand is when the knives are always like downturned, they're lies. So somebody has spoken lies about you to a group of other people to try to spread a narrative about you. Now, to me, you need to be looking at yourself as to whether you're the person spreading the narrative or whether you're the person listening to the narrative. Do you want to play that part in either one of these roles? That's what I would ask yourself at this present moment. Because it feels to me like when people do stuff like that, they're only doing it because they feel a lack within themselves. Usually when people are gossiping about another person, it's because they feel an energy of lack within themselves. So they have to gossip about you to try to, it's almost project their insecurities away from them and into you. So that's important that you think about these types of things as well, you guys. So we've got single, sexy and successful. Are any of you guys single and sexy and successful? If you are, let's see what's coming in for you. Right, so we've got the 5 of Pentacles. You might have decided that you are choosing to be single now. The reason you're choosing to be single could be because you are sick and tired of trying to get your point across and you're not being heard. Somebody who came towards you with a romantic, it's almost like a romantic gesture in the beginning, has now turned where it's almost sour. There's no love there, right? But you also might live with this person, so you might be in a little bit of a position right now where you're needing to think about your commitments. You may be feeling like somebody is watching you as well, because that snuck right behind when I was actually shuffling these cards. So you're probably coming out of a relationship, and because of you coming out of a relationship, this is basically making other people very alerted to your frequency as my husband would say, it's almost like the pheromones and stuff. It's like the hormone that can be released from your body can also affect you vibrationally, and other people can actually see purging. Other people, sorry if this happens, you guys, this is basically when my ancestors are very near to me and they're speaking to me about certain particular things, I tend to purge. So just letting you know, it's not actually out of having bad manners. It's the fact of having like ancestors around me that communicate with me, and when I'm getting to a point of something, this happens. So yeah, there's a lot going on for you guys, I would definitely say. Let's come out of the present moment and go into the next part of this reading. By the way, we had more or less every sign here as well, so it's pretty difficult for me when it's a collective reading to just be like, oh, this is what I'm being called to. But if I do see any star signs, I will make sure I'll let you guys know, okay? So let's go into now, what is your immediate challenge? What's blocking you guys and influencing your situation? Wow. Okay. So first of all, we've got North Node, South Node. We've got jealousy and envy. We've also got intuitive Kev, right? And at the bottom of the deck, we've got manipulation, you guys. I think it's pretty clear what's blocking you, to tell you the honest to God's truth. A very disbalanced person is blocking you. But at the same time, it could be to do with your own mental health, if I'm honest with you. But if it's not to do with you, this is somebody around you, especially with the Emperor energy. So this could be a very cold, logical person. They are very matter of fact. It could be a father figure. If it's not a father figure, it's a person that assumes a father figure. They will be in masculine energy as well. Whether you're a feminine or whether you're a masculine, there is still energy that protrudes out of your body. And with the Emperor, it's definitely masculine energy. It's headstrong. Yeah, it's defensive as well. It's not the type of energy that is trying to debate with you to rationalize things. It's a person where they will say things, and how they say things is how things should go in their mind, in their perception, not yours. Okay? So that's one thing that's stopping you guys and challenging you and blocking you. What about the jealous and envy? Wow, we've got the Moon in the challenge and the Nine of Pentacles. So you could have somebody around you that's like a single friend, because this could be feminine energy. It also could be earth signs as well. But somebody around you is very jealous of you. With the Moon energy, they're trying to conceal it and hide it. But I suspect that you are quite an intuitive person, especially because intuitive Kevs come up. So you are very aware of people when they show you a tendency to be jealous of you. I would definitely say that you start to recognize who this person is. Wow, it could take up to 5 weeks, because we've got the Ace of Pentacles here. So another thing that could be blocking you guys could be finances. Finances could be blocking you. At the same time though, a person who's jealous and envious of your success can ultimately do forms of spells with their mind. They can just wish for you to have poverty in your life. Judgment. So yeah, that's another challenge here for you guys. People not taking accountability. Look who's appeared again, the Knight of Wands. So people not taking accountability for you guys is probably something that is a challenge and a blockage for you to be able to move forward and get people to see your perspective. What I would advise is sometimes you may not be able to get people to see your perspective, and you need to be okay with that. Sometimes people will have an opinion of you, and there's nothing that you can do to get them to open their mind and broaden their perspectives to thinking about where you're coming from here. So yeah, I would definitely say make sure that you are going around friends using your intuitive abilities and understanding with your intuitive abilities that you already got a scent of what this all was. It could be a friend as well that's quite jealous and envious of you, that's blocking you in your life, especially with the Three of Cups showing up. It can also be three-party situations. It can be people like family and friends getting involved in your situation where they don't need to be getting involved, but they're choosing to. You guys place it where it actually fits, but they are the blockages as well. So let's go to the root cause of things. So what is the root cause for the collective? What's the root cause for the collective? Wow. First of all, there's the frequency of fear. I know I keep saying wow because I can't believe what I'm seeing here. The root cause is the fact that somebody's done some sort of chaos magic towards you or your family members. So that's the root cause of it. In cahoots, secret collaboration, dark alliance. So this is like a dark coven of people. They may not look at themselves as that because they may be giving off this energy of being super positive, and they would never do that to people. But it is usually the people you would think the least that would do that would actually do that. The root cause here is that somebody is trying to affect your mental and emotional health, okay? Who's trying to affect them? Can you give me some clues as to who it is? So we've got the Five of Cups here. This could be a person that feels like there's some sort of bitter words that was said between you and them. It's also some sort of distance here where it's like emotional distance. It's trying to put things under the bridge. So somebody who you may have had an argument with in the past, or you did not get along with in the past, has wished for some sort of magic to be done, or they've paid somebody to do some magic on you, and this is something that they have sworn to secrecy, so they won't tell people that they've actually done this to you. But if you've noticed any sort of the symptoms of having some sort of magic done on you, I will give you the symptoms. The symptoms are like showing up late for things. You may find that you are more tired than you usually would be. You may find that you're more argumentative than you usually would be. You will notice these different things about yourself. You'll notice that your stomach feels a little bit different. You may feel a little bit poorlier than you usually would be. You may feel like your confidence is not as high as it used to be. You may feel paranoid of people and things around you. There's a lot of symptoms I think that you should look up and just make sure that you are not in that position, because like I said, this is the collective reading. So if you've been called to this and you've been here so far along the video, then it's obviously for you, okay? So yeah, somebody has tried to make you feel this emotional distance with the Nine of Wands. Somebody's tried to overstep your boundaries as well. So you have protected yourself and come away from somebody. Now, because you've protected yourself and come away from them, that's obviously got them in a little bit of an initiative of trying to spread false narratives about you, trying to gossip about you, trying to see if they can make other people doubt your credibility, doubt who you are as a person. And because they're doing that, this might be the reason why you've needed to listen to the universe and keep this person away from you, because they've overstepped boundaries a good few too many times, I would say here. Let's go to In Cahoots. Oh, I'll take these two. Ten of Swords. Yeah, so basically what you... For some of you guys, it's family, okay? For some of you guys, it's an ex-love relationship that you was actually in. This person probably stabbed you in the back really badly, because it's come out with the Ten of Swords reversed. So because you are not hurting anymore, you are now a problem to this person. Wow. Because you don't want to fight and argue anymore, you're a problem to this person or to this group of people, okay? Wow. It's crazy because it makes you think that sometimes people just really thrive from drama, and if you're not involved in that drama, then they need to drag you in there somewhere down the line. People are just utter fucking twats, aren't they? Let's just be honest. Not everybody, but there's quite a few people nowadays where I just keep thinking, this is literally spiritual warfare. It's a lot. Let's move on. So the recent past, okay? That came out straight away. So in the recent past, you used to be a really independent, fearless person. You've got some sort of spiritual gift, or you went to somebody who has a gift to try to help you. intellectual theft as well. So you may find that somebody came around you to try to learn things from you and then walked away from you and you were suddenly the enemy. I know what that feels like. So yeah, with the recent past, we have got you being in a very independent place. You were probably working on yourself with the Knight of Pentacles. You were probably working on yourself to get yourself into a place where you felt your confidence again. So you probably worked super hard. Did you see that then? Ace of Pentacles again has shown up. So you had a brand new beginning in your life. This feels to me like you had really worked on yourself, worked on refining yourself, worked on your self-love. You probably mixed around people who had some sort of spiritual abilities, or your independence and your fearlessness and the healing that you have gone through has been as a result of somebody with a spiritual gift who has actually helped you along your journey. Okay, you might have your own gift as well though, but somebody has definitely helped you when it comes down to healing heartbreak, whether that's you helping yourself independently and just looking through self-help books, and do you know what I mean, or whether this is you going to somebody that's good at energy healing to help you to heal from heartbreak and circumstances that you felt dragged in the middle of. Circumstances that you couldn't foresee and circumstances that you couldn't possibly eliminate yourself out of the equation when you were dragged into the middle of the equation. This can also speak about grief as well though. This could be the death of somebody in the recent past that actually initiated a form of change in your life. So in the recent past, I would definitely say that you was in a healing place in your life. You were probably mixing around people who had like spiritual gifts, or you were interested in understanding your own spiritual gift. Recent past from a collective. Yeah, so it was like in the past, you might have felt a little bit emotionally disbalanced. This is a person that's got like different things that they've got to do, so it's almost like you've got priorities in your life and you can't prioritize one thing over another, so it makes you feel disbalanced as a person, which then it kind of affects the give-take balance that comes into your life then. So you might have found that there was a lack of reciprocal energy when it came to a family situation, or when it came down to co-parenting, or when it came down to a friendship. You were giving more than what you was actually receiving. Especially with the Justice card being here, we've already seen karma show up for you guys. So there is something karmically balancing out for you guys, but in the past it might have felt like it wasn't working out to be that way for you, despite your efforts to try to help with your confidence levels and stuff. So we're moving on now to 5. We're going for the messages from above. So this is basically the messages from your higher self, or any loved ones who you feel like you have been called to, or thought about, or wanted to get a message from. Let's see what they're actually saying. I hate shuffling these on this cloth because I like the actual just table, but I really like the cloth as well. So I feel like I'm going through a bit of a dilemma at the moment with regards to what to do about this cloth. But it feels so good, and I am a tactile person, so I like to feel things. But anyway, moving on. Messages from above for my collective. What are the messages from above? What are the messages? What are the messages from above? Okay. Got quite a lot of cards here. So we've got access and too much gluttony. So if you guys have been thinking about, I wouldn't say going on a diet, but trying to have more of a diet that's a little bit more effective, plant-based, or something that's going to help you naturally, I would definitely say that that's something that would be good for you. Maybe a cleanse is coming up. I know that Christmas is coming up though, so maybe you're in preparation for after Christmas to get yourself in more of a healthier place. So a message from above. We've got a message from a Cancer sign coming through for you guys. We've also got adaptability, change, adjustment. We've got energy work, We've got Libra as a sign as well. And we've also got entrapment, a setup. Okay. Let's go over each card, because if you guys have got a spirit guide or if you have got a loved one that was a Cancer or a Libra, then they're clearly here to give you a message. If you are a Cancer or a Libra, then this is a message from your higher self to you. But at the same time, if you guys are not these star signs, you may need to adopt the personality traits of these particular star signs. Okay, so let's go into each of these cards to see what the messages are for your higher selves. So what is it for Cancer? Two of Cups, the Sun, the Star. Wow. Okay, so this is basically speaking. I keep saying that as well, don't I? It's a bit annoying. Wow. This is about positivity coming into your life, a love relationship coming into your life. But at the same time, with Cancer, you're needing to look into the moon frequency. So it's your subconscious energies when it comes down to the frequency of relationships. What does a happy relationship look like to you? Answer this to yourself, okay? What does it look like to you? Because there's somebody emotional, loving, intuitive, imaginative, shrewd and cautious, protective and sympathetic at the same time that's coming into your life. But at the same time, they may have other moods like yourself. You may have a changeable mood or an over-emotional, touchy, clingy, unable to let go type of frequency. So what your higher self is asking you to do is think about the positivity when it comes down to relationships and what actually works for you. Do you need a relationship where you have more of an emotionally intelligent person? Do you need somebody in your life that's not as emotionally intelligent and somebody that's just more logical because you're emotional for the two of you? Like, it's looking into... Wow, did my throat chakra go then? So do you guys need healing when it comes down to the throat chakra? Do you have a problem with saying what your actual needs are when you get into a relationship? Answer these questions for yourself. At the same time, if you guys have got anybody that's passed away that was a Cancer, this person is trying to steer you into a better place. So basically, you may find that you have had like a tsunami of emotions. You also may be somebody's son. Do you know what I mean? This could be a mother that's coming through and trying to send a message of, I'm okay where I am. But at the same time, if it's not that, this could be a person that's up in the spirit world that wants to help to steer you into a better place when it comes down to your emotions, because you might feel a little bit up and down if you've just lost somebody. Definitely with the Star card, this is almost like the person's death was very... it came out of nowhere. I just saw a bolt, like a lightning bolt, just go through my head. So it's almost like something just came out of thin blue air and you found out the person died, and you probably felt very vulnerable after that because there were so many positive memories that you had with this person. So it may have made you feel a little bit like, wow, the universe and life is very short, and the universe doesn't have like a list of who it's going to take next. So I have to live every day like my last. And that is what this person's basically trying to communicate to you from the spirit world. Okay? What about change and adjustment? You guys are going through some change collectively. This could be about building a legacy or building some sort of financial security in your life based upon loyalty, based upon hard work. Okay? Something that you would be able to leave behind to your children and stuff like that. So you guys are being asked by the spirit world to think about what you're spending your money on. Can you spend your money on things that are ultimately going to be leaving a legacy behind, or are you going to spend your money on like clothing? Are you going to spend your money on unnecessary things? At the same time, are you a person that feels like you need to have some sort of change and adjustment in your life? If so, you might want to start this process because the universe is ready for you to start that process. You may need to start getting out more with your friends. You may need to start socializing more. You may also be opening a new establishment and trying to adapt to that change, therefore celebrating your accomplishments. So well done if you are doing that. Let's go to energy work. Energy work. So basically you guys need to work on feeling trapped. So I would say this is the crown chakra, this is the third eye chakra, it's the heart chakra, the solar plexus, and I would definitely say the sacral as well. So you guys definitely need healing, okay? Find your local healer, find the person that you trust to heal your body and get booked in with them. You definitely need healing. This is the reason why energy work has come up, especially because you guys may actually be grieving. You're going through it right now, and I can see that you're going through it, but I can also see that your higher self is fighting for you to go into a higher frequency. So just know that you are protected. Know that you are protected, but you also may feel like the universe keeps giving you a little bit of a short straw all the time, and you may be wondering why the fuck they're doing that. What I would say with the universe is the universe doesn't listen to positivity or negativity. It listens to words. So if you start thinking about when you're communicating with the universe, think about whether those are good interactions with the universe, or are they interactions where you are not speaking too kindly about yourself. Therefore the universe will start showing you what you are speaking to yourself is what you will ultimately see projected out in the world around you, okay? So balance with Libra, okay? Diplomatic, romantic and charming, easygoing and sociable, idealistic and peaceful. Then on the negative side though, it can be indecisive, changeable, gullible and easily influenced, flirtatious and self-indulgent, which comes under the air sign as well. But it can also come under the ruling planet of Venus, which is basically speaking about your love. The love of yourself for yourself, but it can also be a loved one that's transitioned up above, which could have been like a form of a father figure. At the same time though, this could be a relationship in your life where you have got towards the energy of the King of Swords with this person. King of Swords is not a positive energy when you're in a relationship with a person, because the King of Swords is highly manipulative, very narcissistic, and he's a power player. He's a person that wants to win at all costs, whether that makes you feel like shit or it makes you feel good. They don't give a fuck, frankly. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's actually the truth. So you need to focus on not being around people that are not speaking love and light into your life. You need to be around yourself at the moment, especially with the Ace of Cups upright. You need to get back to where you used to be in the past, where you used to be quite fearless, independent, strong and loving towards yourself. You may have found that the change is ultimately there. If you guys are not in a relationship, and this is just literally about the way that you have turned with your relationship towards yourself, you're being asked to start thinking about reinventing that relationship with yourself. And can you speak less negativity and more positivity, love and inspiration for the future? How can you fill your cup up? What have you done to help other people raise their vibration in their life whilst your vibration depletes because you have sacrificed some of your frequency to help them? Have a think about that as well, okay? This is set up, okay? So somebody is trying to get you out to set you up. So just know in this next week coming up, somebody's trying to see if they can get you out of the house, but it's not for the reasons they're saying that it is. Somebody might be also trying to get you to travel. Get you to travel towards them in some way, shape or form. Is this the right idea for them? Yeah, keep yourself to yourself at the moment, especially with the Tower card being there. So it's like I said, more burdens again. Don't allow people to get you into their burdens. Make sure that you are protecting yourself here, because I feel like you've been down this road before. You don't need to go down it again. And especially when you're walking into 2026, you definitely want to be on a trajectory where you are feeling like, I have started this new beginning in my life and I've actually laid the right foundations down to make it sustainable, so I don't have to go through these situations ever again. So that's important to for you to know about your higher self. Let's move on. So we're going to go to the immediate future, okay? What's coming into the immediate future for the collective? Immediate, unbothered, so you are going to be bothered when it's reversed. What about the immediate future? The immediate future for my collective. There were one that slid out. We'll leave it. We've got voodoo here as well. What's the immediate future? Right, okay. Bottom of the deck. Third party situation. So there could be somebody that's sticking their oar in here, I would definitely say. Unbothered. I like the unbothered energy to a certain extent, but let's see what it's actually about, because this could be somebody around you that should be taking accountability for whatever they have done or however they've behaved, and they're choosing to pretend like, I couldn't give a fuck, I'm not apologizing to you. Which is very difficult when you're wanting someone to take accountability. So there could be a message here about letting go of resistance. Sometimes understanding that the apology that you need from somebody is an apology to yourself, because you're not going to get the apology that you feel like you need from another person. So apologize to yourself for having an expectation of an apology. Which sounds really techie. But if you actually try to practice that initiation, you will start to notice that you don't need to be looking into the past anymore. You will feel very much so like you are sat in your present. Right? So let's go over unbothered. Unbothered reversed. This could be a family member with the Ten of Cups, Page of Pentacles reversed. That's magic that's been done. Wow. Excuse me. This is about some sort of family member doing some sort of magic. If they've not done the magic, this is literally just having thoughts of just hoping that you have a demise. And this is basically speaking about, there's other people in the family though that might not believe that it's actually happening, but it is, with the Page of Pentacles and then the voodoo as well. Like, if this person's not actively and proactively doing these things, then they are wishing for these things to come across to you or towards somebody in your family or somebody that you care about. I would definitely say protection is a massive thing here. You might want to get some protection. We've got the Emperor energy here as well. So this could be a masculine energy. At the same time though, it could be a feminine in masculine energy, because they want to be a boss in some way, shape or form. Yeah, see? It could be a sibling with the Six of Cups. Wow. And also it can come out as an ex-partner as well, the Six of Cups. Somebody's lacking accountability, and they're not going to tell the truth, especially with the Emperor being there, because the Emperor is rigid as fuck, and when they are not interested in telling you the truth, you're not going to get it. I literally just heard blood out of a stone. So that's how bad it is with this person. Voodoo. Yeah, voodoo. This person's going to be defensive. I'd never do voodoo. What are you talking about? I'd never do something like that. A little coven as well, so they've got their own little mates. Yeah, it's not good. Immediate future for the collective. Immediate future for the collective. What's in the immediate future for the collective? We've got the Magician. Yeah, if you guys have been in doubt or wondered if there's any sort of craft thoughts, you know, like witchcraft, any sort of thoughts that have been sent, any sort of energy that's been sent, yes, it has. It's been sent by somebody. That's a person that works professionally in the field of craft, of doing magic. The Page of Pentacles, though, it means that they work with a dark occult. They don't actually do things from a positive place to try to help people. They do it from a place to try to hinder them. They also might do breakup spells. One thing I will say though, if somebody does anything to you or tries to do any sort of spells to wish any harm upon you, and you you are feeling the effects of this in your life, what I would say to you is, it's a simple saying that I've heard many a time from my grandma when she used to be alive, and she used to say to me, who God blesses, no man can't curse. So just remember, if anything does feel like it's happening in your life where you feel like, has somebody put some sort of spell work on me, make sure that you are looking into all of the different symptoms of somebody putting spell work on you, and then make sure that you're saying a prayer of protection for you and your loved ones around you. If you're still noticing things happening in your life outside of that, then it's probably because of this person going to somebody who's a little bit more professional about what they do, but in a dark way, not in a light way. And by the way, when somebody also goes and does dark magic towards another person, it will go back. Every single time. You can do as much protection as you want. Anytime you're sending nasty magic to somebody and the spirit guides and the higher ancestors disagree with your decision, disagree with whatever you've thought would be a great idea, it will go back. And if you are the victim of spell work or somebody trying to do these things to you, just remember, everything they're sending to you will go back to them tenfold. So they better have a damn good reason as to why they're doing things to try to help to destroy the collective's life. It's not exactly going to work the way that the person thinks it's going to work. So that's just a warning for the person that's actually doing the magic. But if you're the recipient of it, hang in there and know that you do have people around. I'm one of them that doesn't hold any form of fear for shit like this. When you have somebody that's done any form of spell work, you need to be able to go down to them negative entities and them negative vibrations and not feel scared. I'm definitely that person. So I would definitely say, if you're a person that has fearfulness of darker spirits, because I'm a shaman, so with a shaman we can go down to the depths of hell and we're good. We can also go up to the highest of heavens and we feel like we belong at home there as well. But it's not very easy for the average person to be able to just feel these frequencies. So if you are feeling these frequencies, hang in there. If you need some advice, message me and I will be there for you, because I know what it feels like. And I will never watch another person go through anybody sending dark magic to them. Not on my watch anyway. So yes, that's for the immediate future. What does that deliver you to when you are alerted to this magic or to this negativity that's been sent towards you? You go towards bliss. Your loving thoughts, your purity comes back. Everything to do with who you used to be will start to instill itself back into you. It will take a phase though. I would definitely say it's going to take a little while for you to start feeling like yourself again. But the possibility of that is definitely there. You just need to be very observant of the things and the people around you. I would definitely say that. Especially if you're feeling dragged in the middle of anything, or you're feeling like somebody has a little bit of an envious streak towards you and your relationship with another person, whether it's a friendship, work acquaintanceship, a family sibling, like it could be anything. But you will know, because it will almost intuitively trigger you. So let's go to your thoughts and feelings. You want to be rich. So this is about wanting to be financially independent. There's also something to do with a child being there as well. Thoughts and feelings for the collective. Self-love. That's very beautiful, because it shows that you're starting to understand that it's okay for you to help to heal yourself. Hang on, rich guy. With rich guy, right, okay, so you might have felt like somebody has almost like gazumped you. It's like you might have had plans with somebody and they've suddenly pulled the rug underneath your feet and they can't do it anymore. What I would say is, try to come away from doom scrolling. Try to make sure that you're getting some really good nourishing rest. That's what I would say. Also, if you are thinking about business ways to help yourself to be financially more astute, I would definitely say that channeling your energy towards an abundance mindset will help you, rather than being in a lack of abundance mindset. If you're in a lack of abundance mindset, that's what the universe will communicate back to you. But if you're in an abundant mindset and believe of yourself to be the queen, the king that you are, that's what the universe will show outside of you. You just need to be very careful of what you're communicating in your mind to the universe. But yes, a business idea may come quite privy to you, or somebody may come around you with a business idea that could ultimately make you quite financially rich. I would also say though that there's some sort of feelings that keep triggering you that you used to feel as a child growing up. Now when you feel stuff like that, it's usually because you need energy work. Yeah, the challenge here. So there was some sort of disbalanced either mother figure or a father figure in your life, and you therefore might have found yourself to be emotionally turbulent as a person in your adult life. You're being asked to go through to child regression to help deliver you to a place of self-love. So I would definitely say if there's anything that triggers your mind at the moment that's making you think, God, I used to feel like that as a kid, then it's usually the universe that's just saying to you, come on, let's heal this little part of you. Let's stop this gaping wound opening up again when it comes down to your life. So that's your thoughts and feelings, which is quite positive. It's beautiful, really. The more you invest in yourself, the more the universe will invest back in you, darling. So just know that. Okay, other people's thoughts and feelings, not that it matters, but we'll go through it. Other people's thoughts and feelings of the collective right now. Ugh. Right, okay, so some people are thinking that you are a leader. You're not to be fucked with. You're assertive, you're dominant. You may have like a masculine type of energy like me, but at the same time, there's a good load of femininity screaming out of you as well. So because of that, this will ultimately have some people who are envious of you. Where did I see that card? You know the challenge? The envious people, they will be screaming that you're disingenuous. You're a fakester, you're a pretender, you're false. Like, they'll be screaming all of these things from the rooftops to anybody. Well, to me, it's an audience. It's like, if you hate somebody, you go and look for an audience that hate that person. That's the way that I've noticed some low vibrational people move in this world, right? Now, somebody is jealous of your growth. They're jealous of who you are. They're jealous of what you bring to the table. So therefore, they try to tell people that you're wearing a mask and you're disingenuous and you're a horrible person and all of this shit. When in actual fact, they are the person that's quite unstable, right? So they may be thinking that you're unstable, but like I said to you, 9 times out of 10, when people are projecting stuff like that, it's usually because they're the people that are unstable in the first place. Somebody thinks that you're quite false as well. If I'm honest with you, like I said to you before, it doesn't really matter what people think about you. You need to know what you think about yourself. And if you think these things about yourself, man or woman, then it really doesn't matter what these people think. They also feel like you're quite secure. You're a person that's quite safe in your environment. They will be warning people to be cautious of you. If I'm honest with you, if a person is trying to warn people to be deterred from you, then, and you're a person that's listening to that and not thinking, well, why would they say that? Let me go and find out for myself. Then you need to check yourself. Because that's something where I would definitely say that this looks like a hater energy, if I'm honest with you. This is just a straight up hater. So I would definitely say stay in your assertive leader energy and make sure that you are giving them a show. If they feel like they can't stand to see you, be there even more. Just out of the simple fact that they've got this frequency of feeling like they just do not like your growth. They don't like your energy of feeling comfortable. They don't like that you're sitting pretty. They hate that shit about you. Let's move on from these because they're very unimportant, but they like to think they are. Their karma's coming to them though. I know that sounds a little bit malicious, but I don't care. I think that when you've sent nasty energy towards a person for such a long time, because it's happened to me before, you do ultimately feel like people really do get served what they deserve in life. But because I'm a Pisces, it's hard because I feel then that compassion for them, like, oh, that person was so evil to me, but they're going through a hard time. I feel sorry for them. And lately, I'm just starting to understand that that's not very helpful to me, feeling empathetic for someone that really would not give a shit if I was drowning in the ocean. So, you know, you've got to think about where you're going to be focusing your frequency and where is deserving of having your frequency and where simply isn't. Okay? So what is your hopes and fears, collective? What's the hopes and fears of the collective? Your hopes and fears are to be guarded, meaning safe, secure, protected. It doesn't mean that you're going to be stood there like, you're not coming around me. This is basically you being in a position of like, anybody that tries to touch me, it just literally flicks off. I've just heard like water off a duck's back, okay? So that's something that I would say is one of your hopes, to be safe, secure, and not have these volatile, nasty Rottweiler people coming around you and trying to put their insecurities and project them onto you. You want to be in your abundance mindset. You want to be in your femininity. You want to be in a place where you're feeling this goddess empress energy. And if you're a man, it's the emperor king energy, the king of pentacles types of energy. It's like a stability, a foundation. You just want positivity in your life from what I can see here. You want money. You want to level up. You want to have like a good life. You've got a lot of hope and optimism for the future. So really and truthfully, anybody that's trying to send any energy that's not positive towards you, it really doesn't matter. That's so funny that I've just said that, and look at the card. A coven, a cult of witches. So yeah, what I would definitely say is here that your fears are that you don't want somebody to be putting magic on you or sitting around other people that don't like you to try to see what they can conspire to try to disrupt your life. What I want to say as words of comfort for you who's watching this, if you are a victim of any of these types of things, is understanding that when women or men do these things towards another human being, it's not something that the universe is going to forget. God doesn't sleep. So just remember that everything that they think they're doing behind the scenes is all being shone out in the light. And if they've got a conscience, they will ultimately understand that one day we will all have to meet our creators, and we will all have to be in a position where we are answering for ourselves. So if you are in a place where you feel your conscience is fully clean, then you are nice. You big guns to you. I'm happy for you. But if you have a conscience inside where you feel like you have either taken on somebody else's argument, or taken on got involved in something that didn't concern you, etc., then that means your conscience will be playing. You need to get into a position where you are actually taking accountability for yourself and refining yourself, or you will ultimately get to the place in your life where when you're taking your last breaths, they will be full of regrets, and that's not what you want. So I'll move on from giving all of these philosophical talks. Let's go to the potential outcome. What's actually going to come out of this week for the collective. I'm not taking them because they felt like they just wanted to. Let's go for these. What's the potential outcome for the collective? What's the outcome for the collective? Someone's going to prison. Someone might be going to prison. Doesn't mean that you are going to prison, but it could be somebody around you that's going to prison, or the potentiality of that. You may be finding as well that it's very difficult for somebody who is away from you to keep away from you, okay? So you may find that somebody tries to stop you from moving on, stop you from moving away from them. when in actual fact they just want you to they don't want you to tell other people how nasty they've been to you in the past. That's what that's speaking about, okay? They don't want you to tell other people about the destruction that they've brought into your life. So what I would say is that your life, anything in your life that is not strong, not stable, and not offering you some place to bloom and grow will be eliminated. The universe is taking control here. There's no other option but for the universe to help you to heal your emotional pain that you felt, but you may feel like you're in the middle of a whirlwind because they are literally stripping things away from you that don't serve you, ultimately to bring you to the Page of Swords, which is where you can start to reinvent yourself from the base upwards. So what I would say is people falling away is going to be something that happens. You feeling a form of anxiety within yourself, I would look at it as energetic frequency trying to get up and down your body. Okay, because I keep feeling like there's energy trying to come up and down my body, but it feels stuck sometimes. And that's usually because the chakra is blocked, dependent on where the rush is stopping. Okay, so you want to look into a healer, most definitely. You also need to be okay with yourself about who you're leaving out in the cold, who you're choosing to not take with you in life. Okay, and try your best as well to not judge yourself. If you start to feel any sort of shitty thoughts and stuff, it's usually because of some of the people here that have tried to surround you to create some sort of anxiety in your life. What I would say is make sure that if your conscience is clean and you know to the bottom of your soul that you've been a good person to people and you've not done anything that would warrant any sort of horrible things coming in your life, just be at peace with that. Be at peace. Because the more that you're at peace with that, the more the energy can go back to the people that have actually sent the energy towards you. So what I would say before I leave you guys is to hang in there and understand that you are a person that's held in a lovely caliber when it comes down to the spiritual side of things, but there are burdens that you need to let go of, especially when you've got a Knight of Wands there that is happy to just have their hand out and take and not give anything back. Remember, you are an empress. If you're not an empress and you're a man watching this, you're a king. Remember, you are of a high caliber. So sometimes you don't need to be looking down the frequencies and looking at these other people with these very poor, weak orators. Hence the reason why they send such negativity out towards other people. Okay? Remember to be the love always. Have a wonderful week. I will see you guys next week for another collective reading, and I'm sending buckets of love. Mwah. I'm sorry about the nail. Bye bye.